We live in the age of social media, and with the ever-increasing technology in our smartphones, it's now possible for almost anyone to broadcast themselves and have their own platform, myself included. You're watching it right now. Yet, with more and more people doing it, it's harder to get noticed. Now, an American friend of mine has a great phrase: the squeaky wheel needs the most grease, meaning that the screamy people, those with very bizarre behaviour, the people who, if you saw them in the street, you would wonder, are they okay, or do they have quite a severe mental health problem? They're getting the attention. They're not getting treatment. Now they're being celebrated on TikTok. I fear we are sleepwalking into a mental health crisis, the like of which the world has never seen. As people participate in what is essentially a social media arms race in a desperate attempt to out-mad one another. So today we'll meet a number of individuals, and I have one question about each video clip. Do they believe what it is they are saying and or doing, or are they simply doing it for attention? Now, a case in point over on my other channel is this gentleman. And for the purpose of this video, I won't be using preferred pronouns, not to be cruel. I'll be using correct pronouns. This person is a DNA man, and I'm doing that just for clarity. He goes by the name Lilith. He's better known as Buffalo Grill. He got the nickname because, firstly, his mannerisms are very similar to the villain in Silence of the Lambs. It puts the lotion on its skin, or else it gets the hose again. And the grill part is because he pretends to be a food reviewer and live streams himself waiting for one of the waiting staff, many of whom are on minimum wage and don't speak English as their first language, to refer to him as Sir, whereupon he calls the manager over and makes a big deal about being misgendered. Personally, I think the guy is utterly vile. However, I believe that he believes he can become, well, not an actual woman, because despite what any blue-haired, overweight person says, human beings can't change sex. But I think he believes he can become a very good replica. And I say that because recently he had his bollocks chopped off. And I can't think of many things I'm so committed to that I'd be willing to hack off my love grenades. So let's start seeing some people, and bear in mind they have all posted these videos of their own free will.
Tattoo lollipop.
That's quite a statement, albeit I have no idea what the statement means. But it's all attention-seeking. Look at how shocking I am. And I would put money on it, she's on the extreme far left. She's a member of the wokerati, where looking grotesque is so en vogue. It says a lot that in that video clip, the squirrel appears to be the intelligent creature. Underneath it all, that's just a child throwing a tantrum at its parents. Next up, we have someone who identifies as a fictional character.
Hello, friends. Today I come to you as my true self. I am Pippi Longstockings, a little shepherd girl, sent from our Lord in heaven. I am here to feed the lambs, and that is you. I am a shepherd to all who ask. Amen.
I apologise for the poor audio quality on that clip. I don't know why I'm apologising, I didn't record it, but that man doesn't believe he's really Pippi Longstocking because I've seen other clips of him. That's a man who I'm guessing is in his 70s, who enjoys dressing up as a character who happens to be a little girl. Now, the vibe I get from him is that I wouldn't leave him alone with young children. I'd put his picture on the mantelpiece to keep kids away from the fire. But the question is, does he really believe he's doing the Lord's work? For all we know, he could be a minister, because I've been a minister now for over 4 years. That's completely true. Back in 2020, on the second day of the first lockdown, I got bored and thought, fuck it, I'll get ordained. Who knows, maybe he honestly believes he's doing the work of the Almighty. But I would love to see him go to a church dressed like that. And I mean an old school Roman Catholic church. Hell and damnation, fire and brimstone, one where the priest spends half his sermon telling us all that we're wicked sinners. Because I don't think Pippi would last very long in that situation. We've just seen a man dressed as a woman. Here's another one.
Transformers, more than meets the eyes. Autobots, robots in disguise. Transformers, more than meets the eyes. Autobots, robots in disguise.
Does that man believe he's a woman? Is he transsexual? No. He's not someone who's been born in the wrong body and will need therapy and surgery to correct it. I don't think he's one of the men who actually thinks he is a woman. More of that to come. No, he doesn't believe he's a woman. I think that guy is what we used to call a transvestite. He's a fetishist. And in that brief glimpse into hell, and whilst we're there, we may as well wave to Pippi Longstocking, I think that was an attempt at humour, because he was trying to sing the theme to the 1980s cartoon Transformers. I stress the word is trying. And given that that cartoon was for children aged 4 and up, the lyrics to the theme song weren't overly complicated. It's not like we're asking him to recite the Iliad from memory. Just a general hint here, if you're going to record yourself singing a song, make sure you know the fucking words. But maybe he's got a lovely personality. Next up, someone who has several.
To this video every time we switch today. Currently blurry and very overstimulated. Leslie here. Time to load up the furnace. King here. It's looking like today is going to be just as badly switchy as yesterday, and I'm not looking forward to that, but it is what it is. Blurry, but like in a silly, goofy way. It's Tal. We took a nap. I'm so sleepy, still, but that is okay. Blurry again and very overstimulated.
Does that person believe she has DID? No, that video is 100% bullshit. Dissociative identity disorder, or multiple personality disorder, is so rare that psychologists can't even agree if the condition exists. And the few people who have DID, or believe they have DID, have always been through truly horrendous trauma and or abuse. But there's a trend on TikTok for younger people, in particular dull younger people, to pretend they have the condition. Now, I watched that video clip yesterday, so I'm trying to remember it. I think we met 3 different personalities, and all 3 were boring as fuck. The giveaway, though, is that 2 of them have they-them personalities, and 1 has he-him. There isn't a personality using she-her pronouns, and I'm fairly certain that even in a fractured mind like that, the central core would still be female. Shit me, that got deep. So that was a person claiming to have multiple personalities. Now let's see someone with multiple genders.
And explain to you guys some micro labels of gender fluidity. So first we have gender fawn, which is a gender fluid identity that only encompasses male-aligned genders or non-binary and male-aligned genders. So no female-aligned genders. Then we have gender doe, which is the opposite. Next we have spike genders, which is where you mainly feel like one gender. Like girl spike, you'll feel mainly like a girl or a female-aligned gender. And then randomly you will spike into another gender. Same goes with boy spike, agender spike, non-binary spike, all that stuff. Then we have flux, which is similar, where it's like agender flux. So you're mainly agender and then you can fluctuate through other genders.
The gender fluid thing. Does that young woman say that she and people she knows are gender fluid because she believes it, or is she doing it for attention? I actually think it's both. The video is for attention and validation. But she's a member of Gen Z, or Gen Z if you're watching in the colonies. And these younger people have been so bombarded and brainwashed with this gender ideology crap that I don't think they can differentiate between changes in mood and emotion and being a different gender. For example, I'm a man, so traditionally I'll be a bit more distant and less likely to share my emotions. Women traditionally are warmer and much more open, but when I'm on these walks, occasionally I meet a 4-month-old Rottweiler puppy called Rosie, and then my behaviour becomes very open and inviting. Now, I don't think, shit, have I just become a woman? I understand that my behaviour and emotions change depending on circumstance. And that video clip originally is 6.5 minutes long, and I sat through all of it, and she just keeps saying the same thing. This makes you this gender, then you could be this gender, then this gender. After 4 minutes, I was thinking I'd rather be fucking waterboarded. I've saved the worst until last. Prepare for a lecture.
Ow! I don't care what you say. You throwing a transphobic cisgender hissy fit doesn't negate my lived experiences, okay? Like, I don't care whether you believe me or not. Trans women do experience PMS or PMDD, okay? It's not a fully researched thing yet, but there are a little bit of research into it, and they have found plenty of trans women who have PMS or PMDD symptoms. So you throwing a hissy fit or you not liking it because you don't want more shared experiences in connections with trans women because you find us icky and invalid doesn't take away our lived experiences, okay? So you can go off having your little tantrum about how we're not women and we don't have PMS or PMDD, and guess what? We'll continue being women, and those of us that do have PMS or PMDD will continue to have PMS or PMDD.
That's a biological man who thinks and again, I'm not trying to be cruel, I'm just trying to be accurate, that he is having the symptoms of having a period. Does he believe that? I think he does. Because the second he doubts that, his entire world is going to collapse. And right at the start, we see the projection. He says, you'll have a transphobic, cisgendered hissy fit, and then has a massive hissy fit. And the evidence is very sketchy. Oh, this paper's been published, I read this, I saw this thing. It's very, very vague. That's the way a conspiracy theorist thinks. They cherry-pick the things which suit their hypothesis and ignore the masses of information which go against it. And as for lived experience, that doesn't make something real. I think I was 4 years old when I first saw Star Wars. And it was so amazing and so realistic, I thought that must have happened. That doesn't mean that now I get up every morning and gaze towards the heavens in case someone's building a Death Star. And I'm always baffled by this strange obsession that some trans women have with the menstrual cycle. Because I've never known an actual woman to say, I'm due on in a few days, I best get out the camera and the ring light. A ring light lights up your face, not that. And as a married man, I know that 1 week in 4, I have to make sure there's chocolate in the fridge and I'm very quiet. As for the symptoms he's experiencing, I'm going to guess that's the estrogen injections, because if you put something in your body that's not meant to be there, and that's not a euphemism, there will be side effects. And we know he isn't getting period cramps because he hasn't got a womb. If a woman has a hysterectomy, no more periods. How is this so bloody difficult? No pun intended. We are living in the life of Brian. I think what we can take from this video is that some of those people know that they're lying, they're just doing it for attention, but others don't, and they walk among us. That's the end of this video. If you enjoyed it, please do like and subscribe if you haven't already, hit the notification bell, and as ever, thanks for watching. Into a mental health crisis, the like of which the birds have never seen. As people take the fucking birds have never seen, because they're joining in today. So that was quite a statement. I'm not entirely sure what the statement meant, but fuck it. That young lady had her tongue out. Ladies, be aware, if you put your tongue out, all that happens is that straight men think about jizzing in your mouth. So, what we can... Oh, I forgot what I was going to fucking say now. Does she believe she has dissociative... Oh, fuck it. Does she believe she has dissociative... I can't fucking say that word. Does she believe she has DID? Does that young woman believe that she's gender fluid because she believes... I've said believe twice. Fuck it. Shut up! Or I'll come round and shit on your car for a change. Who thinks he's having the symptoms of a period. And again, I'm not using she, her... I'll fuck that up as well. Believe it. His entire world is going to fall apart. And I forgot the next line.